This accidentally went viral. Flushed face fire. The first time Daniel Ortiz ever held a camera, it was in the back of his father's small grocery store in Queens, New York. His father had saved for months to buy a second-hand camcorder from a pawn shop. Daniel was 10, restless, and always curious about the world outside the narrow aisles of canned beans, plantains, and lottery tickets. He filmed everything: his sister dancing to pop songs in the living room, his mother laughing as she stirred arroz con pollo, his father closing the store's shutter at midnight with tired hands. For Daniel, the camera wasn't just a machine, it was a doorway. But by the time he was 26, that dream of filmmaking felt more like a cruel joke. He was working double shifts as a delivery driver for a food app, paying off student loans for a film degree that hadn't landed him anything but rejection emails. His nights were spent editing tiny clips, wedding highlights, quinceañeras, random music videos, always for too little money and too little credit. "Bro, when are you finally gonna make your big film?" his friend Marcus teased one night over beers. "When I stop being broke," Daniel shot back with a tired grin. The video. It started on a random Tuesday. Rain was coming down hard, washing the city in streaks of neon light. Daniel had just finished a delivery near Union Square when he saw a man in a wheelchair struggling to cross the flooded street. Cars were honking, people were rushing past, umbrellas bouncing in the storm. No one stopped. Without thinking, Daniel sprinted across, soaked to the bone, lifted the wheelchair slightly, and guided the man safely onto the sidewalk. The man, a Vietnam vet with trembling hands, looked up at him and whispered, "God bless you, son." Daniel smiled awkwardly, embarrassed by the attention. He thought it was just another New York moment. But someone else had seen it, a teenage girl with purple hair, standing under a store awning. She had filmed the whole thing on her phone. By midnight, that 30-second clip was everywhere. The explosion. Daniel woke up the next morning to 57 missed calls and hundreds of notifications. His Instagram, which had barely scraped 300 followers, was now exploding with thousands of new ones every hour. The caption the girl had written, "This guy deserves the world, red heart real hero," had been shared by influencers, celebrities, even news outlets. Within 2 days, he was on Good Morning America. By the end of the week, he had a brand manager sliding contracts across coffee tables. The world didn't see him as just another broke delivery guy anymore, they saw him as a symbol of kindness in a cynical age. His DMs flooded with sponsorship offers, podcast invitations, and film producers who suddenly loved his vision. For the first time in his life, Daniel felt seen. The weight of fame. But fame is never just light. It comes with shadows. The first crack came when someone dug up an old tweet from 2014 where Daniel had made a dumb joke in college. Problematic, one account labeled him. Then came a thread accusing him of staging the video for clout. "It's fake," they said. "Actors. Paid." Daniel tried to laugh it off at first, but the comments grew sharper, uglier. His mom called in tears after seeing strangers attack him online. "You were just helping a man," she whispered over the phone. "Why are they being so cruel?" Then, the veteran himself, Mr. Harold Benson, was interviewed by a local reporter. Trembling on camera, he said, "That boy saved me that night. That's no lie. Don't tear him down." The backlash slowed, but Daniel realized something terrifying: he was no longer in control of his own story. The twist. One night, about a month into his viral fame, Daniel was invited to a gala downtown, a fundraiser for immigrant youth programs. Cameras flashed, champagne flowed, and speeches echoed through the marble hall. He wore a rented suit, shaking hands with people he had only seen on TV. But halfway through the night, a young delivery driver just like him, years younger, approached. His name was Javier. He looked exhausted, rainwater dripping from his jacket, food bag slung over one shoulder. "You don't know me," Javier said nervously, "but I work the same routes you used to. Man, seeing your video, it gave me hope. I thought maybe I could be more than this." Daniel froze. In that moment, he realized something: the real story wasn't about him becoming famous. It was about people like Javier, people hustling every night in the shadows of a city that never cared. That night, instead of partying with celebrities, Daniel went home, opened his laptop, and began sketching out a new film idea, not about superheroes or fake viral kindness, but about the real lives of delivery drivers, grocery clerks, veterans, and the invisible people who kept the city alive. The ending. The viral fame eventually faded, as it always does. The contracts slowed, the hashtags disappeared. But Daniel's fire didn't. 2 years later, he released his first documentary, Invisible Hands. It wasn't glamorous, but it was raw, human, and powerful. Critics praised its honesty. Immigrant families saw themselves on screen for the first time. Javier even appeared in it, telling his story. At the premiere, as the lights dimmed and the audience stood to applaud, Daniel thought back to that rainy night in Union Square, the night he had simply acted without thinking, the night someone had accidentally pressed record. He smiled to himself. Sometimes the accidents that go viral aren't accidents at all. They're mirrors. And if you look closely enough, they can show you exactly who you were always meant to be.